Okay, guys, welcome back to a new video. So in this video, we're looking at this is part 3 of the series. I was talking. We're covering photos, and we're just sort of going into the detail of them and see how we go on. So here we have some men here. Here we go. Let's bring up the actual description. So men of a battalion of the Hampshire Regiment aboard one of the assault landing craft. Here's the information. So June 1942, I am taken by Lieutenant Look here, taken in Cowes. So Isle of Wight. So here we go, Isle of Wight. Very, very cool little photo, and we'll get into the actual meat and potatoes of it. So let's just expand the image itself. So here we have men waiting to board landing craft for a landing beach assault exercise in the Isle of Wight itself, as we've just discussed. It says men of a battalion of the Hampshire Regiment. I believe it to be 2nd Battalion, just because of the regimental flashes here. Just going a little bit further. See any further? That's cool. So see the regimental flashes here. I'm guessing 2nd Battalion. This is 1942, mid 1942. This is before the battalion went out to North Africa and fought in actions like Taborba. See from the gentleman here and the gentleman in the foreground here, they both have arms and service stripes. So they're the, well, I'm guessing by that, and also here as well, guessing by that, probably the most senior battalion within the brigade that they're in. This is the Lance Corporal here, obviously carrying a Thompson, as well as this Lance Corporal here is as well. It's carrying a Thompson, but also looks like it's carrying a bandolier of ammunition. I think might be that. Obviously the earlier Thompson with the foregrip, cuts compensator, fluted barrel, etc. It's got a breech cover on there as well, which is kind of nice. Excuse me. As is early part of the war, small general service respirators, and this Mark 6 bag, I think, as well, just because the hooked style of attachment. And they've also got their gas capes on as well on the top of their large packs, which they were wearing. So they'll probably take more equipment ashore. This respirator here might be in later respirator bag. I'm not too sure. But obviously, they're 37 pattern webbing equipment. This gentleman on above his gas cape, which is obviously in the ready position to be deployed. He's got a toggle rev as well. Very, very useful for anything, from making bridges to helping pull stuff to anything really. Also, they've got their Mark II helmets with their nets on. Excuse me. This gentleman has not got any regimental flashes or armor service stripe, but he's still got his Lance Corporal stripe. Other guys in the photos seem to have their insignia on. Gentleman in the foreground, very, very interesting. He's carrying a brain gun, but he's also carrying his rifle as well. Maybe he's the number 2 on the gun, or I'm not too sure. Maybe the number 1 himself is actually carrying some other equipment, maybe a tripod. You can see the hand of the guy here might be the number 1 for the gun. See his ring on his finger. Obviously, it's not his wedding finger anyway, wedding hand, but it looks like he's got a ring there. Excuse me, like a sovereign ring. He might be carrying a tripod. I'm not too sure for the Bren. I'm not too sure really. There are some other photos in this series that might show a bit more detail on that sort of aspect, which we'll get into at a later date. But as I said, they're wearing a 37 pattern equipment, and also quite prominent. You can see it just here, but also in this, very, very clear in this photo, the 39 pattern entrenching tool, which you only really see almost exclusively in training. It was very cumbersome, and it just got in the way. It hung extremely low below the belt. Like the bayonet for the number 1 Mark III SMLE, well, the number 1 Mark III Star SMLE. Yes, it's long, but it's thin and it's light. It can move out the way. And this, however, is very, very cumbersome, and it's very it goes below the knee, where it hangs below the belt. It's not great. It's really, really not great, which is why the British Army brought back the old style 08 pattern style of entrenching tool back into service by this point. As I said, this is the Bren gunner. It's a Mark 1 Bren. You can tell by the dial sight here. And as I said, he's carrying a rifle, so I'm guessing he might be the number 2. Trying to think of anything else really in this photo. They're all wearing I think they're all wearing battle dress Surge, the early pattern. I don't think it could be 1940 pattern. The And there are different styles of battle dress itself. So there's battle dress serge, which is actually like this, 1940 pattern, which has a lined collar. Both have concealed buttons, and then there's what's known in reenactment circles as 1940 pattern, but it's basically austerity pattern, which is the buttons are not covered, and it's very simplified way. So obviously the pockets on these are pleated. It gives no sort of sense, just more style choice really. But yeah, that's really. Oh well, actually no. Scarborough here is carrying a low bearing equipment here, possibly for the mortar or a radio or anything. It's a sort of radio carrier. It's for any sort of, it's a multi-use piece of equipment. Basically, it allows you to, sorry, that was a door. Allows you to carry larger amounts of equipment without straining yourself really, or really use for burden really. But yeah, really interesting. It looks like this gentleman here is carrying wire cutters actually in the top of his large pack. Really interesting to see. And you can see like the white tapes of the gas cape on these gentlemen here as well. Yeah, really fascinating photo. Really fascinating. And I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope this is covered. This is now the fourth time we've recorded this. So, and literally little things I hadn't seen before as well, actually. So it's lucky I came and did it again. But yeah, really hope you enjoyed. And hopefully we'll get to cover photos from the same series eventually in the future. Actually, quickly though, the gentleman does have his bayonet there as well. You can see here. So this is probably definitely the number 2 in the gun group, in the gun team, just carrying the brim. But really fascinating photo. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and goodbye.